Hello there, how you doing today? My name is Carol Owoyele. I'm your trusted real estate consultant in Lagos, Nigeria. Welcome to another episode of Real Estate Talk with Carol, the show where I do my best to provide you with a lot of information on investing in real estate in Nigeria, how to do it the safest way possible based on my over 5 years experience in the industry, with the hope that the information I provide through this show will be able to guide you when you're making your next real estate investments. If you know better, you do better. So welcome to this episode of the show. Wow, it's so good to be back here doing another episode of the show. It's been a while. It feels like it's been like forever that I've not done an episode of the show. Yeah, so it's good to be back here. How's your 2023 treating you? Hope the year has started well for you and you are on the right track to achieving your goal. You've started, working on those plans that you have for the year. Time goes by very fast, so get started already if you're yet to start. So let's get into it. First of all, I'm sorry that it's been a while that I've not done an episode of the show. I'm not here every day, but it doesn't usually take this long before I bring you a new episode. It's just that I was pregnant and then I had a baby. Yes, we had a baby girl, very, very active baby girl that keeps my husband and I on our toes. From second quarter of last year, 2022, all through to towards the end of November, I was pregnant and then we had a baby. My husband, who is also my business partner, we had been working on bringing you a new episode, like we did last 2 years. Oh wow, 2021 is now like last 2 years, like we did in 2021, at the end of 2021, where we did a review together of how the industry fared for that year. We're meaning to do something like that for 2022 as well, but then when the baby came, everything just what happens when there's a newborn. So that has just kept us busy and away from content a bit, but we've still been behind the scene working. We've just not, as expected, we've just been on maternity leave. We've not been working fully, so we couldn't bring you that content. And since 2022 has passed, that has gone. We'll see how the industry does this year, and definitely by the grace of God, you'll be rest assured that by the end of 2023, towards the end of the year, we'll bring you that review as we've always done. We want to make it a practice where we talk about the industry by the end of the year. Before we get into business fully, I thought that it was fair that I once again visit the matter of Beachfront Estates. Beachfront Estates is still one of the best estates I sold in 2020. It was the estates I sold the most in 2020. I have a lot of clients there. If I didn't have a lot of clients in Beachfront, I'll just handle these clients privately, the matter privately, and that will be it. But because I have so many clients in Beachfront, I know a lot of you are wondering what's going on. Some of you contact me every now and then. You want to know what's happening with Beachfront allocation. You want to know about progress with development in the estates, which is normal. So I thought I'll just do a video so that all of you out there, those who've reached out, those who can't reach out, those who are wondering what's going on but are not reaching out, those who are making speculations, because if we don't speak on these things, we leave people to speculate about what's going on. Someone even said that I've sold Beachfront to them. It's like I've now abandoned them, which I would never do. I'm that realtor that once the going gets tough, I stick around. I try to, guide you, be there for you until you've gotten what you've paid for. And beachfront is not going to be different. So I want to talk on beachfront first before we talk about anything real estate investment for 2023. I intend to keep this as the last video that I do about beachfront until there's something significant or something different that you need to hear. Otherwise, this is going to be my final take on beachfront estates. And today, whatever I say is going to be concerning Beachfront Phase 1 and Beachfront Phase 2. Both the estate, even Queens Garden estates. We have those 3 estates on the same road in the same area, and they all belong to the same developers. Everything I say is, will cover these 3 estates. Let's start with, is your investment safe? Your beachfront investment, is it still safe at the moment? It is very, very safe. And to convince you of that, we took a drone to site for the first time for beachfront. We had never shown you beachfront. We had never given you a drone view of beachfront before. So we took a drone to site and we got this clip for you. So just take a look at it and see that Beachfront Phase 2 still exists. Beachfront Phase 2, Queens Garden, Beachfront Phase 1, they all still exist. They are all still sitting where they were sitting when we sold it. So nothing is wrong with your investment. Your investment is safe. Just take a look at this clip. This was recorded Friday 13th January 2023. So take a look at it, and I'll be back. So here we are. This is Beachfront Phase 1. Interlocking the gatehouse, some sand filling here, and there's somebody who has laid foundation there. If you look closely enough inside the estate, you see some tags. That's for allocation, people that have been allocated. That's it for Beachfront Phase 1. This is Beachfront Phase 2. Some sand filling, gatehouse. This is some access road that have been created. We've seen all this. My previous video had that. So this is it. It's the same. Nothing has changed from the last video I did. And this one, nothing has changed. So that's it. So now that you've seen the estate, let's talk about the issues surrounding the estate. First of all, the first thing I know a lot of you are concerned about is your allocation. Beachfront allocation. When is it going to be allocated? Beachfront allocation is one of the easiest you can get, to be honest, from the developers. Whenever you want your beachfront allocation, as long as your documents are ready, your deed of assignment, your survey, they'll give it to you. It's an ongoing thing. They'll give it to you. So allocation is not the problem. The problem is, once you get allocated, will it feel like you've gotten allocated? Can you walk to your plots? I mean, within the estate, are there access roads that leads to your plot where you can walk, and get to your plots? No. And that is the real problem. And if you invested in beachfront estate, you already know what the problem with it is. The problem is that it's a swamp, it's a swampy land, and it needs to be sand filled. The access roads needs to be created. The access road needs to be filled up so that we can work on it and get to individual plots, individual allocations. That is the only problem we're facing with beachfront estates. And if you are sent an email and then you're looking for someone to go, represent you, and you want to reach out to me and say, hey, go and, represent me. Ordinarily, there wouldn't be a problem with that, right? Because I represent a lot of my clients for allocations, people who don't have people here to represent them. But the problem with it Now for beachfront, it will be that it's not necessary. It's not necessary because when you go to a site to represent someone, you want to see the plot. You want to take a video, you want to take pictures, you want to say this is your plot that you've been allocated. You've been allocated so and so plot, and this is it. That cannot be done for beachfront at the moment. Beachfront Phase 1, Beachfront Phase 2, Queens Garden. That cannot be done at the moment because the access roads have not been, created. So when someone goes there to represent you, all they can do is just go to the stand where they are giving out client documents, your deed and your survey, and just help you pick up your documents. So the first time I went to represent, they did the beachfront allocation, and I went to represent my clients. I couldn't get to any of the plots, so I came back. So it's wasted time. There's no use. There's no use for you to even send anybody there. So what should you do instead? This is what I advise everyone to do, especially my clients. Contact the office. If it's been a while that you paid for your deed and your survey, contact the office, write the office. If you don't have their email, contact me or contact whoever sold plots to you there and ask for the official email of the office. And we'll give you the email of the office. You write the office and ask for your documents. In such email, make sure you contact your consultants, because you always want your consultants to be in the loop of whatever conversation you are having with the office, so that if they are not acting fast enough, if they are not following up with you fast enough, your consultant can represent you and come in and take up the matter. So that's why each time you email the office, you always make sure you copy your consultant. So write the office, right? And then ask if your documentations are ready, which is your deed and survey. If they tell you they are ready, what you can do is then send someone to pick them up. Yeah, you want to keep your documents with you. I recommend pick up your documents, hold it with you. It is your proof, it is your right to your land. Hold your documents, and then whenever it is that they sort out the issues with beachfront, you get your plots. You understand? They can even ship it to you. Yes, they will ship it to you if you request it. So tell them, if they say it's ready, you don't have anybody you can trust with your documents in Nigeria, tell them to send it to you wherever you are in the world, US, UK, Canada, anywhere you are in the world. They will simply tell you the shipping fee, you pay it, and they send it to you. And you hold on to your documents until the issues with beachfront are sorted out. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is Landmark, the company. Because a lot of you know that if you watch my YouTube channel here, you know that Landmark is one of the companies that I've partnered with for a while now, and I'm still partnered with them, and I keep promoting their products. So you may have wondered that because when we bring some of the other properties to you, some of you go to the comment section of that property and make comments like, Landmark, they've used the money for beachfront to invest in other plots, they've abandoned beachfronts, they've scammed people, they've done this, they've done that. But you keep seeing me come up with their property, their products. So in case you've wondered or you've been forced to speculate about why I'm still supporting this particular company that has not delivered with beachfront, and you feel a type of way about that, I really want to clear that here. Now, Landmark is a company that you can trust. I've said that before and I'm still saying it again. It's a company you can trust. There are a lot of dubious people in this industry. A lot of dubious people. So when we find that company that we can trust, we hold on to them, even though they may be having some challenges here and there. And I call beachfront a challenge. It doesn't mean that the company is bad. It doesn't mean that their other products, will not be delivered or they will not keep up to their promise. It's just an unfortunate thing. Beachfront, what's happening with beachfront, and I'll explain, give more details on that, why I say it's unfortunate for everyone involved. It's an unfortunate situation, but it doesn't mean that the developers are bad. You understand? So Landmark is one of those companies that you know they are not running away. They can't run away. You know that they have multiple projects, that if push comes to shove, they can easily say, let's have a sit down. What do you want us to do for you? They can easily say, we have this property, we have this property, we have this property. You are not happy with this one that you invested in. Okay, what do you want us to do for you? They are easy to work with like that. You know, it's not a company that just has Beachfront as their product. It's not a company that has never delivered a project before. They have a number of projects here and there. The avocado apartment, they have 2 of it in Ibeju, in different locations in Ibeju, that people are living there already. People have moved in. And the Queens Garden on the mainland, the Sherry, people have moved in already. You know, so when you see a developer like that, because they are having a particular challenge, or they're having a challenge with one of their products, you will not abandon them and say, oh no, they are bad, they are this. You will simply keep looking for a way out to sort out that problem, and that's what we've been doing, and that's what I'm invested in. That's why I'm bringing you this video. Before I even talk about any property for the year, I wanted to bring this video to you to help all of you out there. So that's it for that. And now that leads me to the mistakes we've made, we've made with beachfronts. And by we, I mean that the developers and the realtors alike, the mistakes we've made with beachfronts that has caused the situation that we are today, that we find ourselves today, which is why I said it is an unfortunate challenge. So what mistakes did the developers make? Now, when the developers launched Beachfront, I don't think they understood, or they took the terrain into consideration, and then promoted the product the way it was supposed to be promoted. Because a beachfront being swampy is not a problem. The fact that beachfront has not seen much development is not the problem. And by that I mean it's not the problem with clients, for clients. It's not the problem for clients. The problem is that clients seem to have been blindsided by the developers, by the realtors, and the same mistake that the developers made is the same mistakes the realtor made. For me, I'll speak for myself. Beachfront property will have to be one of the, if not the first land I was selling or recommending that needed sand filling. At least the first land I was selling that needed that type of sand filling. Because in Lagos, a lot of places, even the places that are not wet, still require sand filling for you to raise the ground, to a certain level. But Beachfront is the first estate I sold, has to be the first estate I sold that had that level of swamp, or that had that level of marshiness. It's a marshy ground, it's a swamp land. Beachfront will have to be the first. So I lacked the experience to have let you know what will be required for that place, or the time frame you should expect that it will take. Because when we sold the main estate phase 3, that was in an area that was still upcoming, I said it in the video, and the company came out and said it clearly, that this is how long it will take for you to experience developments. They said 3 years. I think they said from 3 years if they wanted to do anything at all, and we promoted it as such, and people bought. So the problem with Beachfront, the mistakes made, was that, one, the developers didn't think it through. So some of the things they were supposed to say to us, and even in their own marketing of the property, was that the estate was going to take a while to be delivered, that allocation was going to take a while to happen. Because if all those information was out there, I don't see why anybody will be disappointed. There are projects that 6 years, nothing has happened, and it was sold to clients that way, that this is going to be a very, very long-term investment. but if you invest in it, you're going to really be glad you did in the next 10 years, in the next 12 years. It's going to be a retirement plan and all that. People wouldn't have had a problem with it. That's some of the mistakes that the company made. And another thing was also that the resources that it was going to require to make progress with development in that place. The development levy that was charged was 1 million naira per plot. That was the development levy that was charged for beachfront, right? But the realities on ground has made it clear that that was a big mistake they made. They are not even saying that 1 million naira cannot even sand fill a plot of land, you know, and they are not saying they want to sand fill the plots. We eventually cleared that what they meant was that they were going to sand fill the access of the road, not individual plots. So don't say I'm telling you that they're going to sand fill a plot. What I'm trying to tell you is that the 1 million naira that was charged for development levy is way too small for development levy. It cannot even sand fill a plot of land. So if you can imagine how many access roads that they have in the estates, and then you charge someone 1 million naira as development levy that is supposed to cover the sand filling of the access road, the interlocking, the gatehouse, the lights, the everything, the drainage system and all that. Even some clients that, you know, are well versed with, you know, construction, they brought it up to me that, wait, are you sure this man will deliver? Because that 1 million naira he charged for development levy is way too small. Somebody was telling me that he did a fence some time ago of his plots and the money is spent. How can he be charging 1 million naira? Will he ever be able to deliver? Because it is not the duty of the developing company to use their money to provide infrastructures. It is the duty of the owners who are going to enjoy the estate to put money together, which is what we call development levy. Put money together and then use to, you know, to develop the estate. The developer is just supposed to collect that money and then use it to provide infrastructures for them so that they are able to enjoy their estates. They are able to get access to basic amenities for the estates. So that's another mistake they made. But now they cannot change it on clients, you know, because these things, they are contracts, and the contract has been signed already, that except if there are new buyers, and then you can tell the new buyer that this is the new contract. But for old buyers, how do you not change it on them and say, bring more money? We don't have money. So that project, looking at them, is a very, very big project. And sand filling, even as at 2020, 2021, because Beachfront 1 and 2 sold between 2021 and between 2020 and January 2021. That's the period which it sold. Even that period, that 1 million naira was still too small to even for sand filling. Not to talk of now adding other things that has to be provided to that. Then dollar was still what, compared to what it is now or what it has been. You can't compare them. You know, there's a big difference. So that's the deep shit that the company has found themselves in. But they know that they have to deliver. There's no problem with that. It's just how long will it take to deliver. They know that they will have to sacrifice a lot of millions that they didn't plan to work on beachfront so that they can deliver to their clients. They know that. It's just, you can't rush these things, especially if they are going to have to come up with their money to invest in that place. Last I heard was that we should expect some kind of significant progress, or at least expect some work to be done in beachfront this year. So we'll look at the year and we'll see how it goes. But definitely be rest assured that beachfront will be delivered, but you have to be patient. Beachfront, let's talk about the terrain, the way we should have sold beachfront and not the way we sold it. Because the way we sold beachfront was that it was a project that we even said the company was going to sand fill without actually saying that, oh, the company was going to Sanfi the access road, without making that clear. So a lot of people bought thinking, oh, the company was going to Sanfi my plots. How is a company supposed to Sanfi how many hundreds of plots? It's not possible. So we should have made it clear. This is what the company meant when they said they are going to Sanfi. We should have made that clear. We assumed that everybody understand what we mean by the company is going to Sanfi, but that's not true at all. A lot of people didn't understand. I don't even think most of us realtors understood what they meant, because it was the first time, for me, speaking for myself now, it was the first time I was dealing with a swampy property. So when they said they were going to Sanfi, I ran with it and said they were going to Sanfi, not knowing that, looking back to all the other estates when they said they are going to Sanfi that have swampy land, it is the road, the access road, that they always sandfill. If let's even remove the resources from it now, no company will do that trouble of sandfilling individuals' plot. It has never been done. It will never be done in the industry. Clients will always sandfill their own plots. Each time we've mistaken that to be true, we found ourselves in trouble. But look at MNST Phase 2. When I sold it, the company said they were going to sandfill. But then, eventually, they said they only meant they were going to provide a serviced estate, meaning they were going to sandfill the access roads. Also, we should have sold Beachfront as a long-term investment. Look at Lekki Phase 1. Beachfront has the same terrain as Lekki Phase 1. It's a swampy area, and eventually it's going to be built up. That whole area, and I don't mean just Beachfront now, I mean that whole long road, because you know that MNST Phase 2 at the back of Beachfront Phase 2 hits Beachfront Phase 2 at the back. If you stand in Beachfront Phase 2, you can actually see some houses in MNST Phase 2. So it's going to be built up. The whole area is going to be a beautiful area, but not now. Unfortunately, not now. But by that time, you will be glad you bought a land in the estate. It's going to take a while. It's a long time project. I think that because people are already living in the area who felt that it was a project that was going to, that's lack of experience. Because as we are in this industry, we are learning, and it is what we see every day, the experiences we have, that makes us into better realtors, makes us into better advisors, makes us into better consultants. So we should have sold it. We didn't understand it. We should have sold it as a long-term project, knowing what it would take, a swampy area, knowing the resources it will require for the access to all the access roads within the estate to be sandfilled. Because if the access roads are not sandfilled, nobody can access their plots. And if nobody can access their plots, nobody will build. So that should have let us know that it will take a long time for the project to be developed, and we should have sold it at that. So it's a bit of lack of experience, with swampy lands, and lack of proper understanding, or sitting down to think about it and say, okay, what would this require? That was the reason that I didn't promote the estate the way it should be promoted for what it is. And I'm sorry about that, but everybody is still going to get what they pay for. Another thing I also like to address relating to these estates is that should you sell? Because some of you have contacted me saying that you want to sell your land, you want to sell your plots in Beachfront Estate. And those of you who've contacted me, I did my best to advise you on what I think will be beneficial for you, and you can testify to that. And that's what I'm also going to say here. You should not sell your land in Beachfront. You can't even sell your land in Beachfront. The reason is because to sell your land, you have to be able to access that land. If I want to buy a land from you now, and you are pointing it to me, you enter an estate and you are pointing it to me that it is behind that and behind, will I be interested? Will I still be interested? Or will I even want to pay the value of that property, seeing that it's on a swampy land? I won't. So if you are selling your land now, that's if you can sell it. If you find someone that doesn't mind you pointing out a land that they cannot walk to and say you want to sell it, if you can even find that person that will buy it, you're not going to get a lot from the property. You would have just invested in beachfront property for almost nothing, like very little money. And that's not the plan. When I brought beachfront to you, I knew it was one of those properties that you should invest in, that in the long term you will do well with. You know, because you still remember that that road where beachfront is sitting on is a proposed road, the proposed long road that is going to hit Abraham Adesanya, you know, hit the island. So there are a lot of plans there, and it's a long term. A lot of the plans for that area is long term, and those people who really benefit from investing in that estate are going to be those people who are patient, who from now on start to see the estate for what it is, a long term project that if you let yourself be patient with, is going to really be one of the best investments you've ever made. Just keep Lekki Phase 1 in mind and what Lekki Phase 1 is worth now, and those people who bought lands in that area for kobo kobo. The estate sold for between 2.6 to 3 million naira, the Beachfront Phase 1 and Beachfront Phase 2. But you paid little for it, because if that land was dry, you would be paying 3 times the money or more for it, because it's to know that it's towards Ekpe is selling for how much now? 35 million naira. If beachfront was available at the time when it was selling and it was a dry land, you will still have paid a lot of millions for it. So it is because of the state that it is why the developers were able to get it for the amount that they got it from, that allowed them to sell it for the amount that they sold it for. So just be patient with the property is, you know, what I'm trying to tell you. See it for what it is, and you will have peace with the property, that with the investment you've made there. And don't forget that I'm also there with you, not just because you are my client, but also because I'm an investor there as well. So I will not put you somewhere that I won't put myself. You know, that's what I watch myself by. When I'm picking properties, I will pick something that I know that I will invest in. And that's why some of these properties that I bring to you, I've invested in them. Since I got married, my husband and I also do our own investments in properties that we pick, the ones we can afford, that is, you know. So just be patient. We're not going to lead you astray, and we're not going to lead you to properties that we as ourselves cannot, you know, put our money in. That's why you can trust us. That is what we've built our trust on, that we'll always be there for you, and we'll always recommend only properties that we ourselves can invest our money in. So Beachfront Phase 1, Beachfront Phase 2, Queens Garden Park, I'm all there with you, every one of you. So we'll sort it out, but just be patient. As final words, I'm going to say that Beachfront, I still stand behind it. If you invested in Beachfront Phase 1, Beachfront Phase 2, Queens Garden, you've done very well. You've entered the area, you bought the plot when you should buy it at the lowest price you can buy it for, and it's going to be the best investment you've ever made. But you have to be patient. Change your mind from today. Now that you have this information, now that I have this clarity and I can share it with you, change your mind from today, from seeing that property as a short-term investment to seeing it as a long-term investment, to seeing it as investing in your future, in your kids' future. See it that way and you'll be at peace. And moving forward, go pick up your document if you've not picked up your document. If you've not paid for your deed and survey because, oh, what they are doing there is not encouraging, so you are waiting. There's no need to wait. You are not achieving anything by waiting. If a project is this long-term investment, you're supposed to make sure it is secured for you, and not until you have your document, your deed of assignment, which shows change of ownership, that the land is yours now, your survey, which shows the boundary of your land, that the land belongs to you and it is from here that belongs to you. You are not secured. You're not fully secured. You need to be secured with the property you bought. So go get your document. If you've not paid for your documentation, go pay for your documentation. If you can, pay for your development levy, because if you've not paid for your development levy, you don't really have a right to be asking that they create access roads. Now, I already told you why they are in big trouble, because of they didn't do proper estimation and what it will take to even sand fill a plot before they put a figure for development levy. But that's not your problem. You make sure you pay your development levy. Otherwise, all these have this sand fill, have this sand fill, have this sand fill, you're not being realistic with it, with what it takes to sand fill, and supporting them, playing your own part to say this is your development levy. Okay, I've contributed to, the infrastructures in this estate, so provide the infrastructure for me. But if you can't afford to pay for development fee yet, pay for your documentation and monitor it. It takes 6 to 2 months, I think, for your documentation to be out, your deed and your survey. Monitor it and make sure once it is out, you get it and keep it. And let's all wait to reap the benefits of our investments in some years to come. Okay, I'm still very proud that I brought Beachfront to you. I'm still very happy with the investment. For me, I'm very relaxed. Maybe because I'm in Nigeria and I know the developers more than you do, and that gives me peace of mind. But you, that you're not here, I understand your worries, and I really hope that this information brings you some peace of mind. Because some of you who invested in Beachfront have used that as an excuse not to buy any further property or to blacklist a particular realtor. If you are blacklisting a realtor, let it be because they are not responding to you, because they recommended a property to you and now they've turned their backs to you. That's a different thing. But that you are blacklisting the person because the person sold Beachfront and Beachfront is no. I hope that this content gives you some peace and encourages you to continue to invest in real estate properties, and not let that of Beachfront, the fact that it has not been, some of you have not gotten allocation, or the fact that it's taking so long for them to keep their promise. Don't let that discourage you from not investing in properties. Real estate investment continues to be one of the best investments, if not the best overall, for return on investment, for you to grow your money. It continues to be the best. So I hope that you keep doing it, and I hope that brings you everything that you deserve from your investments. That's it for this episode of the show. Thank you so much for watching, and until I come your way again, my name is Carol Owoyele. Bye for now.